Christ, they'd be in a store, all right? There'd be a roof, some sort of structure would be built around this. This is shit. This is a table of shit, right? Oh, brutal. It's brutal, right? But I don't want to be a dick. So I'm like, no, honey, that's great. You know, John, I'm going to go get some air, okay? Even though we're outside, I think there's more air to be had, you know? The dog, we have to get him fixed. I'm like, why do we have to get him fixed? Well, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm like, well, you're not a veterinarian. She's like, well, neither are you. Great, then it's a stalemate. Neither one of us knows what the fuck we're talking about, so let's not start cutting anything off the animal, right? So, of course, she's a female. She's got to go out and prove me wrong. Goes out and gets a book. Okay, look at this. See, it says right here, you get your dog fixed. He's less likely to be aggressive. Okay? Okay? No, listen. God, you're such an asshole. Just listen. And then it says... Baby, that would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck, you just ruined my birthday cake? And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. Well, it would have been if you didn't do what you just did. There would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch. Right?
No, I think I know how to raise a kid. You know what it is? You just play catch with them. That's how you raise a kid. You play catch with them. You just talk about life. You distract them by throwing the ball. They don't even notice. You feel something bad, you feel bad, you know? Unless you're like a sociopath and you don't feel shit. Unless you got somebody duct taped upside down in your apartment, you know? Hey, if you do something like that, I want you to feel like you can come to me, you know? Yeah, come to me, confess all of that. We'll go down to the precinct, we'll tell them everything. Yeah, I'm gonna turn you in. This isn't fucking Dexter. What are you, out of your mind?
Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. Hey, what's that? It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning, and then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the rope. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant...
People are, excuse me, you're supposed to say we're pregnant? You're supposed to say we're pregnant? It's like, well, I'm not a seahorse. So, I'm not fucking pregnant. My wife is pregnant. Look at her. She's putting on weight. Her feet are swelling up. You know, she's miserable. Fucking miserable. I'm still doing pull-ups. I'm crushing it. While being pregnant. I'm still drinking, smoking. Yeah.
I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, oh, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass.
You know, no, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the... No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I think white women started it. At the mall, what happened? No, it's unreal. I'm really fucking annoyed how white women have the fucking balls to throw my white privilege in my face. You know? Sort of separate themselves from these white males with their white male privilege. It's like, bitch, you're sitting in a jacuzzi with me. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, put your fucking whining. Look. Here's a little caveat here, so you don't think I'm a complete asshole right out of the gate. All right, if you live...
Do you feel you were being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
well, they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following.
SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
You
I
know
want
what I'm
to.
talking about? It's a morning show. I understand.
I like
Daytime
thank you
I
for being
came on.
positive.
That kid was
Positive.
missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we were
watch-
joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great.
Like he's Tesla tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me! Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy! How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshirt only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, when you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama's going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win because they're in the process, that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that is completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watch the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude. Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know?
Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. Heck, with the mullet down to his ass, he drives a pickup, he's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, God damn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy. Man, I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over. It's dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs, they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't know because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs. Get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak. Right, I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm like, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? Time to man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the, like, shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I gotta work on my temper though. Something I really gotta do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just relax. You don't got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. Frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Oh, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house. I'm actually thinking it's kind of pretty high. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that?
I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I gonna do? For the free world. Tell them to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I gonna do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand. Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that? They do. That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400,000 a year. That's it.
Girlfriend, they just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope.
Somebody that you knew.
Not.
Can you let me
Continue with your ignorant thought? Sure.
No, this, you know, you shouldn't say that. This is the first time I ever experienced this. I had to be able to fucking say what I'm thinking. You see, his own daughters are going like, so wait a minute. You're going to be bothering my toenail polish? They got to get their head around it. I'm allowed to get my head around it. God bless him. Okay, that's what he wanted to do. Well, he did it. Now he's a she. Is he? But he still has his dick, right? Ornette Coleman, he was one of those guys who played so free with jazz, there was really no one, and even like Charlie Parker would walk off the bandstand going, I don't know what the fuck these guys are playing.
Okay.
Is that right? I think this is a groundbreaking thing.
Yep.
That he's the first, and he will be like, he's like the, I don't know.
First what, though?
Well, I'm not going to wade into that fucking sink. You're not
a guy dumped me one time, and now they're all dicks. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
But there was a period in your life. You can't tell me that you didn't get a little petty. I did.
I actually never did.
I did. All those guys that dumped me. No, I had it. Yeah,
I didn't necessarily have the greatest track record with men, but I didn't write you all off because of that. I still was looking for love.
Listen.
What?
All right. So what I'm saying is, as far as like go that 180 the other fucking way.
Yeah, I think people should be definitely allowed to be honest with it. I just feel like the cruelty is what's unnecessary.
No, not cruelty, but you ought to be able to say like, Bruce, what the fuck? Sorry, Caitlin, what the fuck? Wow. Wait a minute. Can I sit down for a second?
They were talking to one of his sons from his other marriages, like Brandon or something, and he said. She lifted up her dress to show his...
Can I sit down for a second?
They were talking to one of his sons from his other marriages, like Brandon or something, and he said, she lifted up her dress to show his son her new boobs.
No!
And he goes, whoa, I'm still your son. Because it's like, yeah, whoa, wait, just give me a second. And then another one of his sons.
No, but he would never, when he was show his
Of
balls.
Of course.
It's where you came from, son.
Of course. No, of course. It was definitely, that would be very,
Now you're jumping back and forth on either side. It's like he's playing tennis against himself right now.
it's kind of like your ADD brain, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like bringing around insult Bill. Look, I'm on vacation. I'm trying to have a good time.
You, mon cher. But you know what else? One of his kids, her kids, see? Even I'm slipping with the pronoun.
Oh, you homophobe, transgender hater. What's your career? We need to end it.
Bruce wasn't there for them.
Because he was a fucking man.
And now that Bruce has become Caitlyn, you think
Hey,
tapping
Bruce,
into femininity will
Bruce
be better?
won the gold medal. Caitlyn still has to prove herself. She hasn't won shit yet.
She's won all of our hearts.
All right,
No.
but you know something else? Then there's also then falling all over yourself. There's the ignorant being mean about it. And then also no, I never watched the Kardashians.
Oh, that's true.
I hate those fucking shows.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And to be honest with you, I would have to, I'll just sort of walk by the TV and occasionally glance over. I need to ease my way into the fact.
You're gonna watch it over my shoulder.
And I have the fucking right to do that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, when you make that big of a fucking change. Jesus Christ, I shaved my head. People like, what the fuck?
You're gonna watch it over my shoulder.
And I have the fucking right to do that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, when you make that big of a fucking change. Jesus Christ, I shaved my head. People like, what the fuck? Yeah, you gotta give people, you gotta be courteous and let people like fucking, all right, let me, okay. You should have like 5-minute visits and then they increase to 10. And just to save his soul, and the devil's like, oh, where did Bruce go? And he's like, I don't know. It's like Angel Heart.
Are you talking about that movie with Lisa Bonet?
Yeah, and Mickey Rourke. It's fucking great. Louis Cypher. Anyways, who knows? I don't fucking know.
Bill Burr tackled Caitlyn Jenner.
No, I didn't. I'm getting my head around it. I should be allowed to do.
So, the hell have I been doing with my life? Trying to get in shape, man. I hate going to the gym, so I decided I'd go veggie twice a week. It's brutal. I can only make it till about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. That's what I realized about myself. You know that? Something has to die every day in order for me to live. Something's got to get its beak chopped off, feathers yanked, uppercut to it. Waiting for some politician to have the balls to bring it up, but they won't do it. They won't do it. We live in a democracy, right? Can't be honest in a democracy. You need the votes. You can't run with that as your platform. Coming out there, and if elected, I would implement a program to immediately eliminate at least 85% of you. This planet cannot sustain the shit. Fucking gotta sit there and watch that shit. Those stupid interviews. Hey, you're a member of the Buffalo Bills. How does it feel?
Well, it's a blessing. I want to thank God. I try to do my best. It's a great organization. And I'll say shit the last 80 guys said. So, yeah.
I'm glad he kissed him. He should have fucking blown him. Yeah, with birthday cake in his mouth and a Santa Claus hat on his head. It's horrific to watch. You can't hit him. Right? So what are you telling me? You're telling me someone who never hit a woman is going to come walking in, read that joke, just be like, wait a minute. This is the dumbest shit. Dude, they have all kinds of signs out there telling people not to hit. No, that's the thing. Really is. That's the thing. I hate that saying there's no reason. Obviously, I'm not saying to hit a woman, But saying there's no reason, I think that's crazy.
When you say there's no reason, that kills any sort of examination as to how two people ended up at that place. If you say there's no reason, you cut out the build-up, you're just left with the act. How are you going to solve it if you don't figure it out? Look how awkward it is in here right now. I said you shouldn't hit a woman. I'm just saying, any sort of examination as to how two people ended up at that place. If you say there's no reason, you cut out the build-up, you're just left with the act. How are you going to solve it if you don't figure it out? Look how awkward it is in here right now. I said you shouldn't hit a woman. I'm just saying, how come you can't ask questions? You can only ask questions about what the guy did. You can never ask about the woman. Why is that? Why is that? What is that? What does answer him right mean? What does that mean? Are you the idiot who got up halfway through the special during the bit? And here, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Fucking had to ignore all of that, and now you're gonna like yell out? And not only that, yell something that makes no fucking sense whatsoever? Answer him! Answer him! Every fucking special I do, there's always one. Always right down the fucking middle. Talking about hitting women, sweetheart. And I think you just added another reason. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not even in a relationship with her, and she's fucking nagging me. Fucking unbelievable. Look, I understand hitting a woman's a bad thing, okay? Well, how come you can't fucking ask questions? I just don't understand. Like, if I got bit by a rattlesnake, wouldn't you guys have some questions? Right? How did it happen? Did you not see it? Were you fucking with it? And this snake gets so mad, it almost killed you. Firemen put out a fire. They don't just drive away afterwards. They sift through the debris. How did it start? Here's an oily rag, right? Look, I realize I'm coming off pretty ignorant right about now. I realize that. Let me extend an olive branch then, okay? I realize that there's some animal guys out there, okay? Horrible guys, you know, have a rough day at the factory, come home, tuna casserole, and just start swinging, all right? Even hockey has 2 minutes for instigating, right? They understand that some back and forth happened before that shit, you know? You know what it is? It's every case is handled like that Rihanna one, where they just say, the guy's a piece of shit, fuck this guy, blah, 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 send him to jail, and then they never ask anything about that. You know, I'm not saying he should have done it, but I'm just saying. Just saying, dude, in your heart of hearts, what do you think was going down before that happened? You think she was just sitting there going, oh my God, Baskin Robbins, you want to get some ice cream? That's why I sell more albums than you, motherfucker! Right? To be fair, she could have just been sitting there going, I need a tissue. Do you keep those in the glove box? Oh my God, I'll bring my out! I'll bring my out! Now fuck that, because you know what it is? They never address how women argue, which I think is a core of a lot of that shit. You know, I gotta tell you something, man. Like, I never knew how women argued, but after 20 years of losing every significant battle in a relationship, I finally figured out how they argued. I'm gonna tell you, but that's why you're just gonna grow old and be alone. Then I'd lose my shit. The next thing you know, I'm in the kitchen washing dishes for the 9th fucking time in a row. This is what the argument was about. I was so right. What happened? So if you learn anything from my ignorance tonight, just know this. Next time you're in a battle with your beautiful woman, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, and they start out of nowhere, okay? You're winning, and they just start saying that crazy shit out of nowhere. Just know in that moment you've won the fight, okay? All right? Don't get mad. Bob and weave, slip all of that shit. Maybe because you got to like these? Do you think these are nice, right? I want to be like, no. If they were nice, they'd be in a store, all right? There'd be a roof, some sort of structure would be built around this. This is shit. This is a table of shit, right? Oh, brutal. It's brutal, right? But I don't want to be a dick. So I'm like, no, honey, that's great. You know, John, I'm going to go get some air, okay? Even though we're outside, I think there's more air to be had, you know?
Are you gonna have a 41? You still gonna have the bachelor party? Do you really need to, man? I mean, you're 41. You just lived the bachelor party for fucking 20 years, right? You do what? You play place? Yeah, you melt. Yeah, what? I can't go to titty bars anymore. I just remember those. You can't see them. You're blind. Jeez, well, thank you for fucking bringing it all the way down to. I didn't ask you about your eyesight. Jesus Christ, you got problems with your kidneys too? We can just turn this into a benefit? What the too? Really? Yeah. Well, first of all, you're not fucking blind. You know what? You're looking around too much. You're like, first of all, you were blind. What the fuck are you looking back at him for? You need to work on your fake blind shit. Jesus Christ. You really tried to make me look like an asshole there. I couldn't see with the fucking lights. All of a sudden I see this guy, this blind guy. Oh, with this guy right here with the red shirt. All of a sudden I see this guy, this blind guy. Oh, with this guy right here with the red shirt. I mean, with the clothing. Where are you again? Just direct my head. Oh, there you are. Jesus Christ. Is that what you do? You do shit like that? I appreciate a good scam, man. That's not fucking better than that. You know what I mean? There's no scam, dude. It's real, man. What? Well, you know, most comics would have just fucking left it after you said I'm blind. I'm sorry. And I literally delved into it to the point that somebody at the table just said, "This is my cane right here." I mean, you want me to bump into some shit? I mean, I don't know what I gotta do here to prove to you that I can't fucking see because I can't fucking see. Jesus Christ. All right, I got it. You can't see. You proved it to me. You're blind. This woman has her hand over her mouth.
So evidently what happened was, in World War II, old Adolf came rolling into town, okay, with his tanks with the Porsche engines in them, took over the town in like fucking 90 minutes. She freaked out. She closes up her shop, right? Figured out where all the head Nazis were staying, what hotel. She moved in there, and she started a relationship with one of the Nazis. Yeah, she started fucking a Nazi. She was sucking the dick that did that. Now, just to refresh my memory, what did Sean Connery do again? Oh, you know, every once in a while you give him a little slap. That's what he did. She's sitting there like, "Hey, Adolf, what's going on?" She so sold out her own country, she had to flee it at the end of the war. And I have no idea how many she's ever seen comes in and takes it over in a couple hours. She must have been terrified, right? And she's a woman. You know, she's into fashion. They show up with those Hugo Boss uniforms. You know, her knees buckle a little bit. Things start getting ugly. People are getting shot in the street. She's freaking out. You know. And she's a woman. And women know, push comes to shove. When you get your back against the wall, no matter how bad it gets, they always have the option of fucking learn this early on. She had the option, and she took it. I can't get mad at her for that, you know? So she's dead and gone. I think she's up there in heaven. I think she made it. She's up there with Sean Connery. Every once in a while, they have a disagreement. He gets a little slap, you know? She doesn't care. Once you shit on a Nazi's chest, I mean, a little backhand's not going to freak you out. Jesus can't say anything. He got a hooker, right? Everybody's got a... Yeah, there you go. So, still buy your Coco Chanel. She's still a hero. She was a victim. She was a victim of that time. She was frightened. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. Anyway. So, we're living in a fucking weird time. Obviously, beyond all the bullshit that's going on now. Like, every time I think feminism has kind of like... I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me. You know? It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. You know? For the simple fact that I know it's going to fail. You know? And I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because... I know it doesn't like me. Yeah. Do you know why I think it's not going to survive? Why it's not going to be successful anyways? Because they still need men's... 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, flashing their titties. Going fucking nuts like the guys do. In the upper deck with their big beer titties. Am I on the Jumbotron? You know this isn't going to end well. Did he say I'm pretty? Ah, oh my God. Get out of the relationship. If every study says that you're smarter, okay, the question you should be asking yourself was, we're so goddamn smart, how are we in the situation we're in? Well,
They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. Well, I find out one of them's anorexic. I was like, you know what? All right. That makes me feel better. You know, I'm glad she's not eating. Hope you pass out, whack your head off your golden sink. Just to add to my day. You know, I don't get how the other Olsen twin only weighs half a pound more, but she's fucking fine. No, they're so starving, they're weak. That's why whenever they take a picture of them, hey man, I'm fucking 36, I'm not married, you know. I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. You know, let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know, isn't anybody looking at the stats? I mean, what's it like? 1 out of 2 marriages goes right down the shitter? People, if you were going skydiving and they told you half the parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Yeah. I've been dragged into that nightmare for like an hour and a half, 90 minutes just sitting there. This smells like a pumpkin. Doesn't that smell like a pumpkin? This looks like a Christmas tree. Wouldn't that be great? Smell like Christmas in the apartment? Middle of the summer, just fuck with your whole reality? No, you know what it is? I didn't have like a really good model necessarily, like growing up. Like watching my parents, they always used to argue and shit, you know? Like I was afraid of my dad when I was growing up, you know? Anybody have a dad like that? You're just afraid of him? You know? Not like those sitcom dads, they come, you want to go to the Container Store, get some containers for your t-shirts? This is the worst one. Ever get this one? You want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! You can't say that, right? You gotta keep them happy. So what do? You agree. Like, yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. You want to flip the whole fucking table over? It's horrendous. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that, you know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like, one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely there with, like, the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go! So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta like get in the way of it to give you a head start, like rabid dog, run honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like yes, he does have a knife. There are no feminists in a house fire. That's a guarantee. You could take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like he's chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick though. It's kind of like living alone. You know, that same kind of fucked up freedom? You ever feel when you live alone, you like slowly go crazy? You know, because you got too much freedom, because everybody does crazy shit. But when you live alone and start doing something crazy, there's nobody there to be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you? What is that? Put it down. My girl's actually, she's really like, tell you what to eat and when to eat it. Don't eat meat this Friday. If you eat meat this Friday, you are going to hell. It's like, dude, I'm going to a cookout on Friday. If you eat that fucking cheeseburger, buddy, that is it for you. Who is this guy? Dude, I'll eat a cheeseburger whenever I want to, and I'll jerk off. It's my dick. Why am I listening to this guy? I'll fucking jerk off while I eat a cheeseburger. What do you think about that? But I'm out, okay? You guys party way too fucking hard for me, okay? I got off at about 22 exits ago. I didn't see that page in the book. I don't know what you guys are doing. I can't believe they're still in business. People are still showing up. Name one other business that could survive that shit. You think if they were fucking kids at Walmart, they could sell rakes the next day? And just try to wanted the guy to keep hanging on? It's ridiculous. They're like wheeling him from room to room, and people are still flipping. Oh, God, I think he's gonna die. I think he's gonna die. I'm so... It's like, well, I think he's gonna go to heaven. I mean, it's gotta be better than that shit. I bet the last 2 months of his life, he was just sitting in that chair going, God, I wish the world would stop praying for me. Just fucking let me go. Good Lord. Music's gonna be pumping. White people in the front row, gee, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Because when black people go to church, couldn't you just feel it? That was like a half-hour material. Went out the fucking window the second they picked another white dude. It was endless. Pope-mobile's gonna be pimped out, and you better not be shooting at this Pope. A black Pope will be shooting back at your ass. Start breaking it down. Yo, his first shirt be saying Monday, next shirt be saying Tuesday. Yo, on the weekend, he ain't be wearing no shirt. I'll tell you, it's actually funny. You know what? That's actually how I judge black guys now. When I first came to the city, like, all black people scared me. No, I was like the typical white dude from like the suburbs, you know what I mean? I had no frame of reference, you know? So my only frame of reference with black people was like those, remember those early 90s gangster rap videos? Throw the fucking LA. Dude, I ain't going up there till I know what Adam's playing, because fuck this shit. So at this point, I'm really having a battle with myself. Because I'm thinking I can't do this, right? I'm like, I can't do this, but my dick's going, no, come on, man, we can do this, all right? Just relax. Pull yourself together and get on the goddamn train, right? So as always, I listen to my dick. Oh yeah, I get on the train. By the time I get up there, it's like 5 or 4 in the morning, right? I'm staying on like, pretend like I know the groups, you know what I mean? It's just getting there that's a fucking pain in the ass. But you know, I don't get mad at it, because I figure, you know, black dudes gotta go through the same shit though, right? When you go out to the suburbs, go fuck a white girl, right? Just that same awful feeling of just leaving your people behind, you know, just less and less of you as you're fucking driving out there. Probably start off lean and you're all fucking cool. 20 minutes in, you're driving like 10 and 2, the radio's out, like, dude, I don't like this shit.
I hate going to the gym, so I decided I'd go veggie twice a week. Brutal. I can only make it till about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, that's what I realized about myself. Something has to die every day in order for me to live. Something's got to get its beak chopped off, feathers yanked, uppercut to its jaw, just in order for me to survive. I'm trying. I saw this thing, though, that they said if everybody went vegan. If everybody went vegan, though, it would be vegetarian, whatever the hell they said. One of those V ones, right? Went vegan. The air would be, if everybody drove an electric car, if everybody just had some snowshoes on. Nobody has the balls to come out and say it and just say, look, 85% of you have to go.
You know what? You're full of shit. You are. All those feminists are full of shit, because I'm going to tell you right now, someday there's going to be the first woman president, which means you don't even know what her fucking
All those feminists are full of shit, because I'm going to tell you right now, someday there's going to be the first woman president, which means you don't even know what her fucking platform is, and you automatically cheer. It's got the same genitalia. I'm telling you, they're not smart people. Feminists, they're not as smart as they're coming off. I'm telling you. Someday, there's going to be the first female president, which means there's going to be the first male. You wait. You fucking wait. The first time that dude opens his mouth about some political shit, you watch all these feminists. They're all going to be, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. It is her time now. It is her time. She was elected, not you. Go pick out some plates, bitch. You are the first lady.
I don't mind that people use roids. I think they should use roids because they're using themselves as guinea pigs, and it'll all trickle down to us one day. And after they messed up, their heads were 80, they're going to have like a steroid vaporizer that you can just inhale, and you're going to have abs. I'll get a full head of hair, and you're going to be banging some hot 65-year-old. And it's all going to be because of these athletes and the sacrifices that they make that no one appreciates. Those guys in the 70s, the stuff they took in the 70s.
Oh, in the 70s, the steroids were crazy.
It's like horse tranquilizers. You came out with like a mane, just slapping children around.
They didn't have a mane. No one had a mane.
Some people would argue that.
So it's good for the sport.
I love it.
Like I dated this girl one time. She was like really into the event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink. For some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with like the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. So that's how I look at it. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta like get in the way of it to give you a head start, like rabid dog, run honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like give you a head start, like rabid dog, run honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me too. Why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault?
Surprised feminists haven't had a problem with the French language yet.
It's like, what's this gender? There's no such thing
why
as
is
gender.
la maison? Why is the house feminine? Is he saying that women is that? Hey, it's just like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to watch a game here. No, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the rest of it.
Have a little empathy. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that is. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I find you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning, fucking argument. You're winning. And then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the ropes. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache. And you're like, you know what? Why don't you take some of that shit?
It's not down, it's in here. They try to take it. It's in here. You do something good, you feel good. You do something bad, you feel bad, The woke movement was supposed to be about people of color, not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserved, finally making that happen. And it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. I don't know how they did it. I've never heard so much complaining in my life from white women. My life is so hard.
Does your wife watch any of these games with you? Does she?
No, she has the female, complex, multitasking brain. That's why they can't be happy. They just always, they're like, what is that lizard that can look at 2 things at once? That's what they're like. So they got the shoes they want, and then they see some other woman walking in going, oh, look at this skinny bitch over here.
Women are so overrated, right? We went from...
Wait, what?
We sit there with like the pizza and the drink, like, that's not holding, and just be like, and enjoy ourselves.
I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, going like, I don't understand, how come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, oh.
Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas. Yeah, and just the level of reward that is, you know, as annoying as a kid is, like they smile at you and it's over. It's over. So, I mean, you don't get that, you know, working on an oil rig when your buddy's greasy face lights up. Yeah, you know what? It really is all worth it.
No, I have that's sleeping on a Sunday when you can go pay $18 for eggs. Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. Oh, you just want to flip the whole fucking table over? Because how hijacked the woke movement? Generals around the world should be analyzing this. Just to refresh your memory, the woke movement was supposed to be about people of color not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserved, finally making that happen. And it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. Fuck about Facebook. Keep it off of Instagram. Yeah. Dude, you understand? The guy's 80 years old. Do the math. This dude was born in 1934. That's 13 years before Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. First 12 and a half years of this guy's life, he watched all-white baseball, and it was fine. First 12 and a half years. Up next, Whitey Willoughby. For this, you know? So I have like a reference or two. I don't want to be that old comic coming to the gig being like, what's up with this Monica Lewinsky? Is this crazy? I mean, this Y2K. Is my stylist going to work? So I put this shit on. Dude, I lasted 90 seconds. 90 seconds. I was open-minded. All right, put it on. 90 seconds later, I'm like this old man. This isn't music. Now,
And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country. Yeah. Long story short, Hugh Jackman plays the part of Gary Hart, and he was amazing. And I had a really fun scene where we were tailing him, we were chasing him down this alley. But he's a big guy, he's like 6'4", and he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us. And for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I legit got scared. And he's a big guy, you know? So what's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all... What's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these actors are coming up to me. I love the choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like...
A Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally...
Gonna take a four-wheeler!
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or
yes, and I wanted to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is
You are the whitest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yes!
served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah, I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like.
I do. I'm talking full-on white privilege. Did you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement?
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. Thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas. Yeah, and just the level of reward that is, as annoying as a kid is, like they smile at you and it's over. It's over. So, I mean, you don't get that, working on an oil rig when your buddy's greasy face lights up. You know what? It really is all worth it. At some point, I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realize I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. Action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"?
What did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet.
What did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missile shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, points in the direction that the plane takes off in... You know what I mean?
Oh, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't buy it. And then there are people that...
I love those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know a lot of people died from COVID, but I'm starting to see the traffic come back, and I selfishly thought I wish it killed a few more.
All right. So
Yes, I am.
second season,
The deepest couch in sports entertainment.
a lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
Knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's
I
good.
love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning. I didn't. My wife did. I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total panic mode. When I dropped her off at the... Of course I wouldn't, but I started laughing. Isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen song about that? Going out to get cigarettes and there's something hilarious about people abandoning their family where I just can't imagine the hell that you would be in to do that move. But just knowing you were going to do it, the level of excitement that you would have before, okay, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. And I'm never going to see you people again, your mother-in-law.
Their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated.
A lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates.
That, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
So,
This is very like, we're very like, you know, you wouldn't know that we like each other. Let's try to tone it down.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
No,
I know what happened.
You came right at me just saying my theory stunk. I'm just here to promote a cartoon. I'm a dancing monkey today. I'm trying to be a good guy. I want people to like me and watch the show. 0.5. This is the worst interview I've ever done. And he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering. How you doing? You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie. No, the background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this? Like, there's a danger to buying that car. That big yellow, they see that big yellow prancing pony, and they just come out. They come up out of the manhole covers. All these gold diggers. I can tell if it's rented or not. They know where to look for the sticker. I don't know how to do that. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
I'm going to tell you how I discovered you. I'm going to allow this to happen. Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Bill, how are you?
What's going on? Oh, thank you. Thank you, all 7 of you. And the 4 Kevin Harts.
Yeah.
Is he in the black section of the crowd? That's what it seems like. They've moved up to the middle. Progress. I like it.
I've always kind of been slightly dubious of a comedy competition, though.
You don't have any confidence.
No.
You can't get up there and just... I always give the same... Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-2125.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know. I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game 1. Here comes the second of the doubleheader. Conspiracy theory has gotten a bad name where now it's become synonymous with like moronic thought. Like if you're into conspiracy theory, if you think like the bankers need to be stopped, then you also think the moon is made out of cheese, and you think that there's shifters and like lizard people. You know, they just try to knock it down. It's like this country started with a conspiracy. That's how it came. We won, so they're considered heroes and rebels, you know, whatever, revolutionaries. But if they lost, they would be hanged for conspiring.
Like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African American thing?
Yeah.
Or whatever, incognito. You're an enigma.
What? Because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people out.
Now, are you getting out of an existing house? No,
I'm going from a 1-bedroom apartment. And then he knew I needed the money. Then he'd call me up. He'd be like, Billy, Scott Bass. That was my agent. Scott Bass calling. I know you said you're not going to do this, but I do have a nooner. I'm going to build around it. And, you know, by then I'd be at home. And I cooled off. It was a couple weeks later from being on the road. And the rent was coming. I needed the money. And he would be like, all right, it's going to pay $700. It's like in the middle of Iowa for $700, all inclusive.